Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our seminar today.
Firstly, I would like to give all of you best wishes and wish our seminar today great success.
Yeah, we are the last year students, and after graduation, we will become teachers of English. So teaching method is very important to our future work.
In our teaching, we teach many aspects of English, such as phonetic, grammar, vocabulary. They are all very important to English learners. So to have learners study well, firstly, teachers should have a good teaching method.
Yes, it is necessary for teachers to have a good teaching method. But because of limited time, so our seminar today only focus on teaching vocabulary.
And now, I'm very delighted to introduce very important guest of our seminar today, Mr. Mai Văn Cẩn, the Dean of the Foreign Language Department.
Mr. the Vice Dean of Foreign Language Department.
The Vice Dean of the Foreign Language Department.
And lecturer of Foreign Language Department and representatives of Class A and
Other class.
And now, I'd like to Mr. Mai Văn Cẩn, Dean of Department of Foreign Language, to deliver our welcome address. Here.
Good morning, students and teachers. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me to this seminar. You are going to become teachers next year. In order to do your job well, you need a good knowledge of language and teaching skills. I think seminars are really good and important to all of you. Very often you hear, practice makes it perfect. Seminars are opportunities for you to intensify and strengthen what you have learned at college. Working as a teacher for over 20 years, I think I still need to learn many things from students. I hope this is a good opportunity for you to learn many interesting things from this seminar. I wish you a good time and a successful seminar. That's all what I can say. Thank you. Thank you again.
Thanks, Mr. Mai Văn Cẩn. And now I'd like to introduce the whole program of our seminar today. There are four parts in our seminar. The first one, the definition and the importance of vocabulary and vocabulary teaching. The second one, some problems in vocabulary teaching and some solutions. And the last one, some strategies for vocabulary teaching.
Yeah, our seminar today is about teaching vocabulary. So I want to ask all of you, what vocabulary is?
Do you know anything about vocabulary?
Do you know?
And why we have to teach vocabulary? Why? Okay, so to know the reason why, let's pay attention to the first group. They will tell about the definition and the importance of vocabulary and vocabulary teaching. And ladies and gentlemen, give a big applause to welcome them.
First presenter in our seminar today. And in my presentation, I will have three parts. In the first part, I'll give the definition of vocabulary. In the second part, I'll introduce the importance of vocabulary, and in the last part, I will present the importance of teaching vocabulary in school. And first of all, I'd like to invite you to a situation. After the situation, we have some questions for you. In break time, a boy and a girl are having a talk.
Hi.
What?
You know any blocks, everybody?
Easy, sorry.
Oh, please with me.
Sorry.
Bye.
Yeah, you have lost in the situation, and now I'd like to give some questions for you. First of all, what is the boy's message to the girl? The message to the boy.
He wants to invite her to the party.
Okay. He wants to invite her to the party. And what's about the girl? What does she answer? She say okay. She refused. She say sorry, and she can't go to the party. And the boys and so what's interesting in their conversation? There's something interesting here. Only two words, as and, not grammar, not structure. Yeah, you're right. Oh, you're right. But they still can understand each other. The words which the boys and the girl employed to use in their conversation are called vocabulary. So what is vocabulary? And now let's come to the definition of vocabulary. Broadly, vocabulary is the total number of words which make up a language, and narrowly, vocabulary is all the words that known and used by a particular person. Now, vocabulary, as you have seen in the situation, vocabulary is very important. In a language, vocabulary is very important. As you can see, this is the house, and can you tell me what makes up this house? What makes up this house? Bricks. Yeah. Of course, there are many things to make up this house, and bricks is the most important element to make up the house. And the house is considered as and there is a tendency about this. If a language was a house, vocabulary would be as construction material to build up that house. Yeah, this is the very important vocabulary in our real life. And what about the importance of vocabulary in teaching? Yeah. Vocabulary is very important because it's one of the because it is a vital aspect in language because it appears in writing, reading, speaking, and listening. Many people find that they can't express the idea because their vocabulary is limited. In language learning, vocabulary is very important for students because vocabulary helps students to speak in communication, and this will help them to have further progress. And now, so vocabulary is important. And what about the teaching of vocabulary? Is it important too? Of course, it's very important. And now let's come to the last part, the importance of teaching vocabulary. Firstly, the teacher should to teach vocabulary well. The teacher should introduce the ways or tactics for students to learn vocabulary better. Secondly, the teacher should create a favorable atmosphere for students to learn vocabulary. And thirdly, the teachers should have students change passive vocabulary into active vocabulary. Yeah. Now, to know more about the passive vocabulary and active vocabulary, I would like to introduce a slide. As you can see on the screen, passive vocabulary is the total number of lexical items which a student or person can understand correctly, so that can read and understand. Active vocabulary is the total numbers of lexical items that students can accurately use in a speech or writing. For example, if you know the word book, you read the book, and when the word book appears in the material, you can understand it. But you don't use it in your speech. So the word book is a passive vocabulary. It's not active vocabulary because you can use it correctly in your speech. So, how can grade an astropaper student to study vocabulary, or how can have a change from possible active to passive vocabulary to active vocabulary? Please listen to the strategies the other group will introduce in this seminar. And now the most and the last and the most important point is a teacher should have students know what is in a word. Yes. However, some teacher at high school often give
nuôi
game
trồng
or
nuôi trồng gì đấy.
game. Yeah, you can see on screen. Yeah, there are some games they often use when teaching vocabulary. Firstly, handman. Secondly, bingo and crossword matching game. Are they popular?
Yes.
Yes, very popular. So when teaching vocabulary, you shouldn't use the same game. You should use different kinds of game to attract students to the lesson, right? Yeah. And what about other problems from in teaching vocabulary? You know? Yeah. In general, many teachers at high school spend little time for students to practice new words and test new words. They only give new words on the blackboard and give meaning and let them read once or twice. Yeah. And moreover, a lot of teachers rarely give other form of new words. Yes. They only give new words mentioned in the lesson, and then with meaning. Yes. For example, suppose yes, new word.
Cái này là những đề tài chứ không phải là vào khóa luận tốt nghiệp.
Đây là phải bảo khóa luận nghiệp. Thế xong rồi về
Yeah. They only give new words on the blackboard and then give meaning of it. So this is the and this meaning in Chinese Vietnamese. And always as a thing. This means and so on. Yeah, I think it's better to supply the other form of simple word. Is there? It's as a thing. So which way is better? Yeah, the second way. With the second way, you can spread vocabulary for students and make them remember the words better. And so, with this way, if teacher use this way, they can attract students to the lesson. You can see on screen. Yeah, this picture. The teacher is teaching vocabulary. And what about student active?